to the Extra Point Live, the Road Show edition for Division B. Here with me, as always, is Don Shepard, the DB expert here in Brossard, Quebec. Don, how you been, sir?
I'm doing very good. It's a very exciting night, especially after the press conference. Looks like we're in for a good game.
For those who don't know, the two teams here are the #1 ranked Big TDs against the upstart Cinderella Gladiators, who made a fantastic run to get to this point here. In fact, the last time these two teams played each other, Don, the Gladiators won 27-19, frustrating Jamil Springer, who had a fantastic great year this past season. And now, looking ahead here, the first question I have for you, moving ahead, Gladiators kind of stumbled into the playoffs, whereas when you look at the Big TDs, after that loss, they've gone on a 6-game winning streak, winning by an average margin of 9.3 points per game here. The first question I have for you, though, is this: the size factor. All after year, he's very big, very tall, very dominant. Do the Gladiators have anyone to counter a man of his size?
The Gladiators have absolutely no one to counter Paul Lapierre. The only thing they can hope for is Jamil Springer throwing really bad balls. The problem is, if you throw a really bad ball anywhere over Paul's head, he's usually going to catch it. So, I mean, they have nothing. They're going to have to, I don't know if they're going to double team him and maybe one guy will climb on the other guy's shoulders and try and swat it down, or, you know, I don't know, Oompa Loompa tricks, but there's no way they're going to be able to cover Paul Lapierre. They're going to have to pick their battles.
What about the speed? The Gladiators have good speed for their size.
Yep.
Do the Big TDs, and we've seen them be exposed by other oppositions with the speed factor, do the Big TDs have that speed to match up well with the Gladiators?
I think the Big TDs absolutely have the speed to match up with them. I don't think that's going to be an issue at all. Jamil Springer, Ryan Perry, David Cesare, even Paul manages to get in the right place, the right time. Had a very good year defensively, won two-way player of the year. So I don't think they're concerned about the speed factor from the Gladiators at all. It's more the short game they really got to worry about. All the crossing patterns and little pick plays, not really pick play, but pick play, that they run nonstop.
All right, let's look back to Monday afternoon, Monday evening for the press conference. And that was probably the most unique press conference. We had the Gladiator representative, Matt Bishara, and from Big TD's Jamil Springer. Don, looking at that clip, I mean, your reaction to the overall press conference.
What do you mean reaction? I was the one that hosted it.
No,
this was the most interesting press conference I've ever had to host. I thought there was going to be tables and chairs at one point, maybe a ladder match. Maybe I had no idea. It was so unpredictable. Jamil Springer was getting quite upset, and I don't blame him. I mean, it seemed like a lack of respect, but at times it seemed like also just not really listening to the questions and being nervous. But there's no way to explain what happened. I mean, just watch the press conference, and it's very entertaining. Very awkward to be a part of, but very entertaining.
Could Jamil Springer be motivated by this press conference, given that he seemed pretty annoyed after the
Jamil Springer is definitely fired up for this game. We'll see in the end if it costs the Gladiators. I wouldn't have went that far to poke the bear. I mean, they did end up being the #1 ranked team. They did win 6 in a row to end out the season. I would not have wanted to fuel the fire the way they did, because they stoked it like a bonfire.
Speaking of fueling the fire, let's go down for the pregame thoughts from the Gladiators and, of course, Big TDs coming up right now.
We're here with Charles Barrage. We're here with Charles from the Gladiators. Charles, you missed a couple of games this season in the playoff run, but you're really going to be important because you're going to have to rush Jamil Springer today. Do you have a game plan for that?
Just contain him, basically. I know he's really, really quick. He likes to not necessarily run. He likes to just give time for the receiver to get open. So contain him, but still give him some pressure so he doesn't have too much time to get his receiver. Beside that, just play defense. Cover well so I can get time to get to Jamil. But basically covering Jamil is pretty much a key to winning.
Yeah, I would agree completely. You guys seem to have the right game plan. Did you get a chance to watch the press conference on Monday?
Yes, I did.
And what were your thoughts on the press conference on Monday?
Well, let's just say Matthew, I don't think he talked to us beforehand. I think he just went and did his thing.
Apparently he did. So you guys very confident going into this? Do you guys think you have the right game plan to put it on the board and get the W?
I think so. I mean, we already won this year against them. So I think we know the key for beating them. So I think it's just a matter of just going there and execute.
Okay, thanks a lot, Charles. Good luck in the finals. Charles Bergeron of the Gladiators. We're here with David Cesario, the big titties. So basically, you guys have a big final match. Yeah, it's a good start.
Not bad, not bad.
You guys have a hard match against Gladiators. You guys lost earlier this year against them. Do you guys think you've pulled it together and figured out what you did wrong in that first matchup?
Oh, for sure. Our team's completely different from then. We've been playing a lot better. I was more at the beginning of this season. We weren't gelled as a team yet, but we've been playing a lot better. So it should definitely be a different outcome, that's for sure.
And Francois Lebeau is a great quarterback. He usually gets the ball off pretty quick. What are you going to do to try and get him off his game or get him to make some bad reads? Are you going to rush him big? How are you going to do this?
I'm going to come rushing in pretty fast. I mean, our defense were really good covering the short game, so it should take the short pass away, hopefully. And from there, hopefully he tries to buy some time so I could get a couple of sacks in this game.
Okay. Now for the real serious questions. Did you get a chance to watch the press conference from Monday?
Oh, I did. I watched it about 4 times.
And what were your thoughts on the press conference from Monday?
I think it was pretty funny, actually. Pretty funny.
Perfect. So going forward, you guys think you got this locked down? You guys very confident coming out of this that you're going to win? You got any predictions or anything?
I think it's going to be a close game, but I think we're going to come out on top. Pretty confident about that.
Okay. Perfect. David Cesario, the big titties. Let's hope they pull it out. We wish you all the best. Good luck, Dave.
Thanks.
Have a good game. See you guys later.
Welcome to the Division B Roadshow edition of the finals, championship game edition. Let's say it again, Mokan. This is the play-by-play of the Division B championship game between les Gladiateurs, as they insist on being called for their French heritage, and the Big TDs. And what a game we have on tap here, Mokan, for the viewers.
Well, Frank Lebeau, one of the best quarterbacks for the Glads in this football game against Jamil Springer, who has been a fantastic two-way player for the Big TDs. It's going to be a fascinating battle between the two teams.
Well, Frank Lebeau, QB of the Year in the Winter Division 2 season of 2012. Jamil Springer, Division B QB of the Year of 2012. So we're going to see some good QB action here as the Big TDs start off with the ball. Jamil rolling to his right, going back to the left. Throws it to Mike Smith, who looks like he might get a handle, but then ends up dropping the ball.
That's the one thing about Jamil Springer. He likes to buy time in the pocket with his feet, trying to see who's open, and he's very unorthodox in terms of the play calling, but finds his guy.
Well, seeing better there, Matt Bishara with good coverage as well. Jamil Springer going over the middle on second down to Ryan Brown. Turns a quick gain to a 13-yard gain and bring up a first down for the Big TDs.
A quick no-look pass.
Jamil Springer now rolling, buying time, going from his right to his left, now going for a big run and getting... Actually, it ended up just being about 5 yards on that one. But
yeah, he usually runs 40 yards west, 20 yards upfield. That's what he usually does.
The total gain, not that much on that one. But again, it's a fatigue factor on a team with not a lot of depth against the Gladiators. So now Springer going to his right, an easy read there to Ryan Perry for a 9-yard gain.
Again, Ryan Perry could be the X factor. He's got great size, good hands, very sneaky good with his athleticism on the offense.
Perry had huge numbers last week in their semifinal, and we'll see if he can replicate that. A pass by Jamil Springer to Dave Cesare, who gets an 8-yard catch.
Dave Cesare is probably the heart and soul of this Big TD team. Always doing the hard grunt work for this football team.
And which ends up being a touchdown. He makes it in, getting the congratulatory high five from Ryan Perry, and it is a 6-0 lead for the TDs. So Jamil Springer throwing it to Ryan Brown over the middle for an extra point, and it is now a 7-0 lead for the TDs.
It's very tough to counter his running ability, and that's why that was a passive rush by the Glads on that play for extra point converts.
Bringing up the first drive of the Gladiateurs, Frank Lebeau playing inspired football in this second season, in the postseason, really has upped his game to an even higher level than what we saw previous.
A simple hook route to Alex Lever going upfield for a few more yards.
Bring up second down, and that is batted away by the big rush of Dave Cesare. Dave Cesare, who had 6 pass defenses against Roshdi Ben Abdelkader in the semifinals, and he looks like he's up to his old tricks with those long arms there. Bringing up third down now, Nick Guimier with a catch, and what's more impressive on that was the throw. Just outstretched right past the defenders there, 21 yards.
Frank LeBeau's got that great accuracy pinpoint to going to Guimier on that play for a huge first down and more yards.
So that brings up a first down, as Mokan says. LeBeau rolling to his left, going deep, He had Lever open, but just missing it, and you can see he's mad at himself on that.
Yeah, I think LeBeau got a little too excited on that play, seeing Alex Lever open up the sidelines. That could have been 6 points for the Big TV, for the Gladiators.
And so what do you do when you go that? Go back to this linchpin of your offense, a quick slant in on to Matt Bishara. Getting a 1-yard gain, but at least it settles things down. This brings up 3rd down now as we see him going over the middle to Marc-Andre Lebeau, but that was a pass interference.
And it looks like Paul Lapierre might be called for the PI, and I think that's the call that they will give.
Yep, there you see the flag coming in there, and that is the call. So that brings up a fresh set of downs for the Gladiateur offense and for Frank Lebeau. We'll see what they can do with the extra yardage, but most importantly with the fresh set of downs. Still 7-0 score and lead for the Big TDs. The Gladiators looking to respond. Lebeau rolling to his left, and he just kind of, I'm not sure who that was for, Mokan.
Again, cross body, very tough when you roll to your left and you're right-handed quarterback. You got to have pinpoint accuracy. Do not connect on that play.
Yeah, he's been struggling a little bit with those throws on the roll this game so far, and he throws it Matt Bishara with a tough grab over the top of, I think that was Mike Smith. What a catch.
A fantastic grab by Matt Bishara. He's got great athleticism, showing it right now on that touchdown play.
Well, I've said it before, Mo. This is a team of grinders, and they are tough. And as we see, Marc-Andre Lebeau not getting a handle on the ball, this score will remain 7-6 on good pass coverage by Mike Smith there.
It seems like they're picking on Mike Smith this entire game so far with the passing choices.
Springer now looking to respond. I guess that's a catch.
Catches, yeah.
That's about 4 catches in 1. He rolls to his right, throws it back over the middle to Ryan Brown, who good concentration, getting a grab there and getting about 5 yards. Simon Rayom on the tackle, bringing up 2nd down for the TD's offense. Pump fake by Springer going over to the left sideline deep down the field, but that is incomplete.
And that's the one thing about Jamil Springer. He's got to work on his deep ball, and he did not connect with Smith on that play going for the deep jugular.
He's been a little bit more inaccurate in this postseason than he was in the regular season, and so again you'll see him go to Paul Lapierre as he does on this play when things aren't working for them. He's a matchup nightmare for any defense.
Yeah, Paul Lapierre had over 40 receptions for the Big T's this year, and he's a safety valve for Jamil Springer on the offense.
And now bringing up a fresh set of downs. 1st down, Jamil Springer avoiding the tackler, avoiding the sack, gets a little bit further, gets about 2 yards. A Charles Baillargeon tackle here. If you just watch this guy go. What an addition he is to the Gladiateur lineup, and what help he'll be for them keeping up with Jamil Springer.
Yeah, Baillargeon was a very good player, very, very athletic for his size. Always been a consummate team professional for that squad.
And again, putting big pressure on Springer. You see he falls backwards here. Might be starting to get into his head.
Well, Baillargeon was playing a very patient game of cat and mouse with Jamil Springer, not forcing the play, letting him come to him to make a big play. And
Springer making something out of nothing, getting 4 yards on that play, and then running for another 3 yards, and that brings up 4th down. It is 4th and 1 for the TD's offense. You know they're going to be going for it, and this will be a pivotal play so early in the first half for the TD's, but they do not want to turn over the ball here. Springer surveying the field, rolling to his right, throws it, caught by Chris Cesare getting into the action. A big play by him here.
Chris Cesare catching it in a crowded area of the football field, but a huge play for the Big TDs to get that early 1st down and more on that play.
And a nice throw in traffic there. 2 defenders coming up close to him. Springer now trying to seal the deal. They got the first set of downs. It's an incomplete pass to Dave Cesare. And now that'll bring up 2nd and goal. But again, this is going to be important for them. You have to trade blow by blow. You have to be able, because it's very hard to stop Frank Lebeau. Rolling to his left now, going intercepted by Nick Guimier, and that is exactly what the TDs did not want. Springer's done a great job protecting the ball this season, but not a great job on that throw.
Guimier read that play from the get-go, and that's the one problem with the Big T's is their red zone attack. Because it's red zone, Jamil Springer can't run as often.
Going deep, wide open. I don't know what happened. It looked like the referee was the only guy in coverage on that one. Charles Baillargeon coming up with a 40-yard touchdown grab. Scores 12-7. Gladiateur, what happened there, Mo?
Baillargeon was able to run a go-around. It was miscommunication on the defense. It's always been a knock on the Big TDs is the miscommunication that has led to Big TDs for the opposition.
Well, they gotta watch out on that because, as you know, Jamil Springer holds them to a very, very high standard, and we might see them start to lose their cool, lose their focus, as we see an extra point, successful pass to Matt Bishara, the key guy for them in the red zone.
Again, Matt Bishara has been that guy, the hands in the red zone for this team.
1st down, and it is a catch by Paul Lapierre, his 2nd grab of the game so far, 6-yard gain.
Yeah, and Paul Lapierre's got to calm this team down. He's known for that leadership that he has, a Yoda-like leadership that he can present to this football team.
Yeah, speaking of Paul Lapierre, another catch by him, this time for 5 yards, bringing up first down around midfield. Alex Lever with his second consecutive tackle. First down now, and again, Paul Lapierre. Well, if it's working, why stop? Getting another 4 yards, and this is what we expected, Mo. A big dose of Paul Lapierre.
Paul Lapierre's size, his football ability is very difficult to defend, and he might be the X factor for this offense now moving ahead.
Well, an X factor here is penalties. Delay of game on the Big TD's offense, and Jamil Springer looking unhappy with his offensive unit. That'll bring up second down for a second time with some yardage back. And again, Paul Lapierre making his 4th consecutive catch. Unbelievable. Another 5 yards.
You have to go with reliable Paul Lapierre. He might be the guy to move this ball down the football field.
Oh, bouncing off about 3 different sets of hands there. Ryan Brown, he's kind of struggling corralling in that ball. He's bobbling it a little bit in this game.
Yeah, it must be the heat because, again, inside Brossard, it's very moist right now. So the football could be slippery for a lot of the players such as Ryan Brown, who hasn't caught it cleanly. Well,
second down now, going deep to Paul Lapierre. And again, this is what we were talking about. Match-up nightmare. And that is a touchdown by Paul Lapierre. And that will bring the score to 13-13.
Simply put, he caught at the highest point. Simon Réaume could not go up that high, such as Paul Lapierre. And he caught that at the highest point for a touchdown.
Paul Lapierre making a big presence so far in this game as we see an incomplete pass on the extra point. Score remains 13-13. Tie game. Big TDs rebounding nicely from that interception, but we'll have to see what the Gladiateurs have in store for them. Frank Lebeau taking the snap, looking to his left, looking back to his right, and goes to his brother Marc-Andre Lebeau for a 4-yard gain.
A simple hook route by Marc-Andre Lebeau, catching the football. That's the one thing about the Glads. They go with the simple offense, short, then they go for the big kill shot later on.
And Frank Lebeau now going, whoa, that was almost intercepted by Ryan Perry after it bounces off the fingertips of Ryan Brown. Actually, that was not an uncharacteristically inaccurate pass by Frank Lebeau. Bringing up third down now, and again, a short pass to Matt Bichard, who gets a gain of about 4, bringing up 4th and 2. Will they go for it, Mokan?
I think they have to consider it because, again, this has been a close game up till now, but they've had the momentum on their side of the football field. Big T's have to seize it back. 4th
down now. This will be a big play for the Gladiator offense. Rolling to the right, cutting back over the middle. And it is a catch by Simon Réaume, getting a gain of about 8 yards, bringing up first down, and there are 4 plays left in the half, Mokan.
Great catch by Simon Réaume to catch that football, prolonging this drive, and give them essentially the last 4 plays to work with in the first half.
This will be big for the Gladiateurs. Rolling to his left is Frank Lebeau, a throw to Matt Bichard. You want to see them pick up the pace a little bit here. The short offense might not get them into the end zone in time. There are now 3 plays left, and that is a 3-yard gain by Matt Bichard, bringing up second down. Lebeau rolling to his right, and he's got a wide open Marc-Andre Lebeau. He just missed him. It's the 3rd time we've seen him miss on the run here.
Yeah, again, that's probably one of his weaknesses, not being able to connect on the run, but he'll improve on that down the road.
Third down, but most importantly, 2 plays left in the half. Lebeau again rolling to his right, evades the rush by Cesare. Wide open Nick Guimier over the middle. This time it worked out for them. A 16-yard touchdown grab.
Yeah, Guimier was open over the middle, and again, Cesare missing that sack was critical in that opportunity for Guimier to catch that touchdown.
Well, Cesare, an all-star rusher, but he missed on that one, and sometimes it's just that one little miss can turn the tide of the game. 19-13 Gladiateurs. And the extra point is successful to Marc-Andre Lebeau, 20-13 now. And we will have 1 play left in this half, Mokan.
Again, you wonder what they can do in that last play. We'll find out.
As we see now, obviously you know they will be going deep. It is a deep pass by Jamil Springer, intercepted by Frank Lebeau. And that will bring us to halftime and the halftime report by Don Shepard.
It's halftime here at the Division B championship game, and it's looking like a little bit of an upset in the making as the Gladiators holding the advantage after Nicolas Guimier gets the pick in the back of the end zone, setting up Jamil Springer. It's a very interesting game going on. Very exciting right now. The Gladiators start the half with the ball after scoring just before the half to make it a 7-point game. It's going to be a very interesting finale to this one, but let's see what happens. You guys, we'll see you soon. Hey, take care.
Thanks for that, Don, and we bring you the second half action of this game. Gladiateurs leading by a touchdown, and they get the ball back, which is key. Nick Guimier with a 7-yard catch on this first play of the second half for the Gladiateurs. They are going to try and keep this ball moving, try and push that lead up to 2 scores. Another pass to Nick Guimier. And now we see an incomplete pass to Marc-Andre Lebeau. Almost intercepted on that one.
Guimier's been great, though, for this football team. Catching the balls over the middle. Frank Lebeau's safety valve up till now. And a great play almost by Ryan Perry to pick that off on the sidelines.
A couple near interceptions by Ryan Perry so far. Guimier, obviously one of the big players for them so far. And again, getting a catch on third down now for the big TDs. And that'll bring up a first down as that was a 10-yard grab.
Again, Guimier's been that guy over the middle. To date, the big TDs have not been able to counter his moves on the football field.
All right, well, that will bring up an and goal situation. Lever with a quick catch, spinning the Rashid Ben Abdelkader spin, and spinning into the end zone for a 10-yard touchdown grab. Scores 26-13. Glads could not have gone better for them.
Yeah, that's more of a mental mistake by Ryan Perry not to deflag Alex Lever. He was quite surprised he got into the end zone for 6 points.
And that will push the lead to 13 points, and Lebeau will be looking to push it even further, but Cesare with another batted ball, something he is so very good at.
Very good at so far in the playoffs, and that might come back and help the Big T's to get back in the game.
It is 13. They are not forced into going to all 2-point conversions yet, which is a good sign. Springer now on the run, something he does so well, but a tackle by Nick Guimier, limiting that to only 8 yards.
And that's the one thing about Jamil Springer is his legs. He's got to use that more often now and try to get back this football team better field position and also the touchdown. 2nd down and 2 coming up. Jamil Springer pumping, and he throws to his right, and that is an 8-yard gain by Dave Cesare. And he's going to have to use all his weapons here. Dave Cesare has to be a guy who has to step up in the second half, and so far he's done that with that big play. Bringing up first down around midfield. It is a quick pass to Paul Lapierre, gaining some yards, throwing in a little spin. That'll go for 16. Paul Lapierre, again, using his size, his height, and his football IQ, catching that football, spinning around a la Rashid Ben Abdelkader to get that first down. Another first down now, and we will see the Springer-led offense is humming now in this second half, making some good adjustments. Springer pumps to his left and goes to the right. Touchdown grab by Ryan Brown for a 6-yard touchdown gain, 26-19 Glads. And that's one thing about Jamil Springer. His fake pump tends to freeze the pass rush because they think he's going to run, but he stayed in the pocket and made a great play for the touchdown. Extra point attempt now, misses Paul Lapierre by a good 3-4 feet. He's the tallest guy on the field, but he's not that tall. He threw that ball to the first row of the stands. So now the next drive for the Lebeau-led Gladiators. Another pass, a steady diet of Nick Guimier so far in this game. And there's going to be a flag on that play by Ryan Perry. I think a little roughing to get the D flag. A little too physical, although I think that one could have been let go, Mo. Very ticky-tack, but again, the referees have to make the best calls out there. Yeah, well, sometimes from the angle you're in as well, not too easy. First down at midfield as a result of that penalty, and it is a catch by Alex Lever down the left sideline for 12. A simple out route by Alex Lever, catching it and going upfield, using the short field to really gain the yards for the Gladiators. Well, right now, Frank Lebeau is slicing and dicing this Big TD's defense. He's doing anything he wants. And Matt Bishara getting a 6-yard grab on another first down. This would bring up 2nd and 4. And so far, you look at the chunks of yards in between the halfbacks on the football field for the Glads. As we see an incomplete pass to Matt Bishara on the right front side of the goal line. Great defense by Ryan Brown, who thought he could have almost intercepted that ball. Bringing up 3rd and goal now. Frank Lebeau rolling to his right, throwing, missing over the middle, well, the back side of the end zone to Alex Lever, throwing it high a little bit. I guess he didn't want to risk an interception. That brings up 4th down, and this will be big for the Big TDs, trying to get back that opportunity to tie the game. He rolls to his left, throws. It is a... Just short. Looks like it. We're going to see the call from the referee. Touchdown! They're calling it a touchdown. They're saying that his hip crossed the line. We might see a better angle here, Mo. It's very tough, and yeah, it looked like he did cross the line with the football past the goal line. That is a good call by the referees for the touchdown. Indeed it was, and neither of us thought that was in, but from this angle it seems much more clear, and that brings it to 32-19. Huge play for the Gladiator offense as we witness the extra point. Going deep over the middle, that is intercepted by Chris Cesare, but it won't go any further than that. This is now a 13-point lead for the Gladiateurs. As we see how the Big TDs will respond, they have to be despondent over that. They thought they had to stop. You wonder if that straw will be the one that breaks the camel's back on that situation for the Big TDs. Well, it's still a one-turnover game. They'll need something here. Springer rolls to his left, cuts back, goes over the middle, incomplete to Dave Cesare, just out of his reach. Again, Jamil Springer is going to have to be very creative here. And again, the Gladiators are using their defense, forcing the play, and forcing Jamil Springer out of his element. And again, Springer
rolling, going over the middle. Ryan Brown with a drop here. Ryan Brown has had several near misses, but that wasn't the easiest one to grab for him.
No, and there was 2 black shirts for 1 white shirt on that football play.
Not a great situation. Third down, it brings a 9-yard reception by Paul Lapierre, which does bring up a 4th down situation. It is 4th and 1. We will see what Jamil Springer, well, he knew what he was doing from the snap there. There's nobody in this league that runs as well as Jamil Springer, I think, at this point. And he gets a 3-yard run, bring up a fresh set of downs. And we'll see as every play becomes pivotal at this point. They can't afford a turnover. That was a risky but a good call by them. Ryan Brown with a 10-yard reception here on 1st down.
Ryan Brown, again, he's got to be a guy to look at in the second half. A good out route right there, catching the ball, going upfield, getting whatever he could to move the chains down the football field. 1st down
and 10 for the TD's offense as Jamil Springer pumps to his left, goes over the middle to Paul Lapierre. Nothing too complicated there, an 8-yard gain.
No, simple over-the-top play to Paul Lapierre. You got to use the big man now in the red zone where he's very valuable for any football team.
2nd and 2 basically to the goal line. As we see Springer using his elusiveness, getting some extra time. Paul's bounced up, intercepted by Nick Guimier. Oh, what a disastrous turn of events for the big TDs there. Really, I thought they might have even had a touchdown there. Bounces off a couple hands. Nick Guimier with the big interception, his 2nd of the game.
And Nick Guimier has had Jamil Springer's number so far in the red zone. 2 red zone INTs by Guimier on that play. That could be the difference on what could be a victory for the Gladiators over the big TDs.
And you do see a flag on that play on Nick Guimier for flag guarding. I don't think they mind. Frank LeBeau now setting up with the ball. Just misses Alex Lever. As you see, Lever, I think, knew he was getting the pass on that one. He almost got an early start. Yeah,
the left foot over there.
2nd down, and he throws it down the sideline to Charles Bergeron. Great extension.
Bergeron's got great hands, great height for his very long limbs, and that's what makes him so devastating for a receiver. Good catch by him.
Bringing up a 1st down on that 12-yard catch, and Bergeron down the sideline again. Touchdown, his 2nd touchdown of the game. 2nd deep touchdown, and you see what an advantage it is to have him back in the lineup with his speed.
A great touch pass by Frank LeBeau, but Bergeron with a huge cast down the cell line. That could be the backbreaker for the Gladiators over the big TDs.
Oh, I think it's got to be at this point, Mokan. It is now a 19-point lead for the Gladiateurs, and what a change. Everything seemed to be going well for the TDs in the start of the second half, but it's been a disaster for the last couple plays. Bringing up now with that extra point to Lever, 39-19, a 20-point lead. Unbelievable turn of events. Big TDs have to focus on scoring and scoring fast here. Mike Smith with an 8-yard catch, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 2.
At some point, you're going to have to go for the juggler here, and Jamil Springer's going to have to go for the deep ball, and that's not his strength in this football game.
And you see it on that one, Mokan. He went deep to Mike Smith, and that was incomplete. Almost intercepted Frank LeBeau with good coverage there. You see, he just misses it there. He was just 2nd late, but they ruling it bounced off the ground, and Mike Smith not arguing too much there.
Speed weren't set on that throw by Jamil Springer.
Yep, 3rd down, and he goes back to old reliable Paul Lapierre. It's been a steady diet of him. It's very hard to stop. It's just, you can move down the field literally going that every single play. Bringing up a 1st down, moving the beanbags. Going over to Mike Smith. Mike Smith seeing a lot of action, which we haven't seen that much of in the playoffs so far for him offensively.
No, I think Jamil's trying to diversify the offense, going to whatever he has open right now because they're covering that deep ball very well, force him to go with the short pass.
Bringing up 2nd down, a quick pass to Ryan Brown over the middle. That is a 5-yard gain.
Now, Ryan Brown, again, this is a guy that he's relied upon game in and game out, and he's making a tough catch over the middle between 2 black shirts.
And now we see Jamil Springer rolling to his left as he does so well. Intended for Ryan Brown. He was kind of bumped off the ball there on the sideline.
Yeah, that could have been called pass interference on Simon Riom on that play, but nonetheless, that was incomplete, and it becomes another down for the big TDs.
And here we go. It is 4th down and goal. Paul Lapierre attempting to get the ball. A lot of physical contact there. He's requesting a flag, and he gets what he requests. That was pass interference.
Yeah, a lot of grappling going on top for Paul Lapierre, but that is the right call by the referee for pass interference. Now the ball be inside the red zone and 1st and goal.
But I think that's a good penalty to take. And as we see Paul Lapierre, well, it didn't end up making a difference, but you don't want to concede a touchdown that easily. Paul Lapierre with the touchdown. They did what they had to do on this drive, 39-25.
You can see the upset look on Paul Lapierre's face, wanting to win this game badly for the big TDs.
Paul Lapierre again, almost getting a grab there, but you got to wonder if fatigue is starting to play a role.
I think it is. I mean, it's very hot and humid inside the Brossard complex right now. The garage doors are open, trying to get some more air, but right now you can see the fatigue set in for both teams.
Frank LeBeau getting the snap and going to Nick Guimier. Charles Bergeron getting some extra running room over the middle and gaining 15.
Yeah, Charles Barrejean has been a great player for them, catching those quick slants in. He's a guy that is underappreciated in a league like this, but definitely is appreciated by Frank LeBeau.
He's a guy who a couple seasons ago had huge numbers offensively, dipped a little bit offensively this season, but he's showing what he's worth in this game. Frank LeBeau avoiding the rush by Dave Cesare, throwing across his body to Charles Barrejean for a 6-yard gain.
Again, going crossbody, very dangerous. Could have been picked off, and if that was the case to be, that could have been a different tune for the football.
Yeah, because if you get picked there, as you were saying, Mo, that could be pick 6. But he set his feet on that one. He had a good throw there. And now he's going to his right. There is a flag on the play, however, as an incomplete to Marc-Andre Lebeau. And we will see another down here. This will be second down repeated here after that penalty, as the referees are discussing the call. We see it being on the big TD, so second down repeated, but the ball is advanced a bit. Frank LeBeau is having a masterful game so far. We'll see what he does. He just looks straight over the middle. Wow, was that open? But Simon Rayom, I guess, not so used to getting looks.
Pulled to Shane Williams from a couple years ago. You remember Shane Williams wide open, dropping the ball in the end zone. Same thing with Simon Rayom, dropping the ball in the end zone.
Well, to be fair to him, it wasn't that easy a catch. Now looking at it, he was really at the back end of the end zone.
Yeah.
It was a little bit out of his outstretched hands. Now, LeBeau looking over the right. Touchdown to Alex Lever. I thought 2 different big TDs could have made a play on that ball, but he just threads that needle like nobody else, and that's got to be the backbreaker in this game, Mokan. It is a 20-point lead with very few plays left in this game.
Yeah, very few plays. A dejected big TDs team. You can see it in their body expression how upset and disappointed they are in themselves for not converting when they had to, but you have to give the Gladiateurs the full credit because they played a great football game from start to finish.
Absolutely, and we are in the final drive probably for the big TDs at this point. Ryan Perry with a huge catch practically bowls over the defender.
Yeah, Ryan Perry is a very intense player, very, very big also, so he used his tackle mentality to keep up at it, but again, he is very frustrated that they were about to lose this football game.
17-yard grab for Perry, but it's too little, too late. Mokan, what went wrong for the big TDs in this game?
Big TDs did not convert in the red zone. 2 critical INTs thrown by Jamil Springer that cost them an opportunity to keep this game within range. As a result, they will lose this football game.
And the Glads, what is there to say for them? Were they playing possum this season or what? They just had an incredible postseason, been dominant.
Pulled the New York Giants, caught fire at the right time, and they were able to catch lightning in the bottle for them to succeed in the playoffs and have these big ones up till now.
And I think we're going to... Charles Barrejean definitely had a big game. Nick Guimier had a big game. But I do think that the guy who's going to win playoff MVP at this point has to be Frank LeBeau. Mokan, what can you say about his play?
He's been a testament to this football team, leading them to victories numerous times throughout the season and playoffs. Great year for him this year.
Score is now 45-31 for the Gladiateurs. But as you see, they're throwing on the Gladiator jersey. This game is over. It's been whistled over. These two teams obviously having an incredible season. Congratulations to both groups as the Gladiateurs coming out on top in this game by a final score of 45-31. Frank LeBeau will probably get playoff MVP, but a very well-deserved championship for Gladiateurs.
All right, I'm here for the post-game interview. Hopefully it's working. Post-game interview with, okay, let's start with Division B champion, and then let's say Division B playoff MVP and quarterback of the Gladiateurs. So first of all, Frank, how does it feel? I know it's not your first, but still it's always special. How does it feel?
Feels good.
That's it?
We played hard. We came to win. We did what we had to do to win, and we got the W. Feels good. Feels good.
Now, let me ask you, obviously there was a lot of talk about this game. A lot of people were looking forward to seeing what was actually going to happen after that press conference. What did you think when you saw that press conference? Were you like, why did we send Matt? Or, I can't wait to play this game. What were your thoughts?
Honestly, I read your article, and I rewatched the press conference, and I said to myself, it's not that bad. It was a funny press conference.
You had to be there.
Yeah, probably.
You had to feel the intensity.
It wasn't that bad of a press conference. We did our job. Well, Matt did the job, represent who we were, a bunch of friends who have fun playing football.
And who drink beer.
He does. It represented us. Matt represented us well, just like our guys. We're a bunch of players who enjoy playing football, catch balls, and win games. I don't know how we do it, but we win games.
Let's talk to me about this game. What happened? What went right in this game for you guys? What was the moment where you said, we're winning this? There's no way we're losing?
Their second possession, when Nick did a pick in the end zone, that was the game. That was the game. Defensively, they never stopped us. I didn't see them stopping us beside doing some picks out of bounds. on that pick, I knew the game was in our hand. And then starting from there, we went uphill and we won.
And I know you're a team leader. You're the kind of guy who's going to share credit to everybody on the team. But is there one guy in particular who played a great game, aside from yourself, obviously?
Everybody played good. Nick had 2 big picks. Marc-Andre came back out of a knee contact injury, came back strong. Lever called some plays at the offense, who worked. Charles back from vacation, strong in offense. Defense didn't and no sacks. I think maybe 1 sack, but 2 or 3 big TDs.
And good pressure, especially on defense.
2 or 3 big TDs.
Yeah, I got you. You see what he did there, guys? That's why he's playoff MVP. And let's talk about you. Obviously, I know you don't like to talk too much about yourself, but you had a hell of a game. And as I was watching the game, I had flashbacks to the other times you've won the championship. Sometimes we could just tell when you're on, and you just hit on every throw you made practically. What goes through your mind as you're seeing that defense? And they were the top defense in Division B, but you basically made them look terrible. So how'd you do it?
My receivers. Lever was calling me plays. Mark was calling me plays. Charles called me a stop and go. Hit me, Frank. I just close my eyes and believe in my receivers.
So you just listen to them, basically. Yeah. You trust them enough to know that they're not. If they're calling it, it's not out of selfishness.
That's the key to win a game. You need to believe in your receivers. You need to listen to your receivers. If my receiver's calling me a stop and go, he's going to be open. Why would he be lying to me? He's open. Charles was right open on each of Lever's touchdown. He called me the play, said, Frank, I will be wide open. This is it. Yeah.
And final thoughts, final things you want to say about the season. This is a season that you guys really saw. You came into this season, you were QB of the year in the winter season, and then you came out, had some interception problems earlier in the season. There was a lot of question marks about your defense, but you guys stepped up time and time again during this playoff run. Final thoughts on your season.
A great season from start to finish. We had 1 bad game during the season. It was against the Ditkas and against the Div A. A great season from start to finish, and that's my thoughts. Just really happy.
Really a very humble guy, and you can see he sounds very even keel, but I can tell he's ready to burst. So I think that these guys are going to go and enjoy some well-deserved refreshments, and congratulations again to you and to all the Gladiateurs. I was wrong with my prediction in the article, but I have to say I'm glad I was wrong because you definitely deserved it. All of you guys did a great job.
Thanks.
And congratulations.
Thanks.
Welcome back to the weekly Extra Point Live, the Div B recap, as we have a new DB champion in the Gladiators, who were the Cinderella story there in Basmajan, as they upended the #1 ranked Big TDs in fine fashion tonight.
Cinderella story, definitely. I think the first time that thought kind of came to our minds was actually when former member of that group with the Kings, Rehan Sarwar, posted that this team reminded him a lot of the Kings team that kind of had a similar Cinderella run. And like that, I think the credit obviously had to go to Frank Lebeau. He was named playoff MVP by no one's surprise. This guy was on fire tonight.
You know, as I told Don Shepard in the pregame show, Frank Lebeau this year was sacked once for every 55 passing attempts. That is unthinkable in FPF, given how quick the game is.
But on the other hand, he did throw a lot more interceptions this season than he did last year when he won the QB of the year. And I asked him about that in the post-game interview, and he just, I think you could kind of tell that they had a confidence about them, and they really could. You can feel when things are going. And he said on the second drive when Nick Guimier had that interception, that was the turning point, and I think we all felt the same way.
Speaking of turning point, of course, the Big TDs, this is a team that's very frenetic on offense, given how Jamil Springer kind of improvises on the run here. Did that cost them today, given that if you saw a lot of incompletions, a lot of balls did not hit the intended target, and that kind of pretty much summed up their offense?
Well, it's incredible to see, like, Jamil Springer wins QB of the year, and they have the #1 defense in Div B, and both sides looked terrible tonight. And the Gladiateurs, I think a lot of credit goes to them because they play such a structured game. Both on offense and on defense, they play so disciplined that if you're not connecting or if you're just missing by a bit, which obviously, first of all, they have a gambling defense, and on offense as well, Jamil Springer is not the most polished quarterback. If you're just missing by a little bit, that's all that the Gladiateurs needed. They weren't stopped on offense, and on defense, they made a couple of big interceptions, and that's all they needed.
The big target, Paul Lapierre, it seemed like he was neutralized throughout the football game. Were you impressed by how the Glads defended Paul Lapierre?
Well, without a doubt, they knew that because of the size disparity, Paul Lapierre was going to be one of the big targets for Jamil Springer, and they were physical with him. And I've compared this team to a bunch of third-line grinders in hockey before, and that's exactly the way they played. They weren't flashy. There was nothing spectacular. They knew that it was going to go to him, and when it got near him, they were physical. I think to a certain extent, it frustrated both Jamil Springer and Paul Lapierre, the amount of physicality. Some of it was called, some of it was not called by the officials, but that's just the way it goes sometimes, and that was the only way you could really neutralize him considering the height disparity.
At what point, I know you mentioned the early turnover, right?
Yeah.
In the first half, but at what point did you say to yourself, I mean, you look at the big TDs, and they looked like a team that had no energy at all. Their heads were hanging low. Their shoulders were not puffing out as they normally do.
Yeah.
Did you feel like that this team from the get-go was not mentally involved in the football game?
I think the total grind of the season, it might have worn down on them, and on the big stage, it was the worst time of all, but that's when it happened. I think every time we've seen, obviously, Jamil Springer is a very, very vocal quarterback, and he's often yelling at his players, demanding more of them because he knows that they can give more. And that's fine, but at many instances, we saw him getting on his players, and it wasn't the right time for him to do it. It made them seem less confident. It made them seem just like they didn't really know how to respond, and they seemed frustrated as well. They were disappointed to be playing poorly. On top of that, you have a guy calling you out, and I just thought it wasn't the best situation for them. That's the way they've played. It's worked for them all season, but in this situation, nobody was playing their best game on that team.
Where do you rank Frank LeBeau now as being a quarterback in FPF? This is the guy who's had great success. Now, do we put him in that category as being a solid quarterback in FPF?
I think without a doubt, that's one thing that I had the realization in this game that when Frank LeBeau is on, he could be one of the top 5 quarterbacks in Flag Plus football. You've definitely got to put a guy like Kevin Wyeth, a guy like Carmen Palice, a guy like Rick Cherry possibly above him. But I can't see that many other guys who've done more than Frank LeBeau has. What he does with week in and week out with this Gladiateur core, a group of guys that he knows so well, they know each other in and out, and he's quick to give credit to everybody, but he makes throws that very few quarterbacks can in this league. His accuracy is pinpoint, and even on the defensive side of the ball, he's a big weapon for them as well. He's definitely one of the best two-way players in FPF, and I think he's got to put himself in that conversation as one of the top quarterbacks in FPF.
All right, finally looking at both teams now, big TDs and, of course, Gladiators coming back next year. Of course, the Glads are a team that doesn't really come back as one for the winter season, but what do you foresee the futures of both these teams moving ahead?
Well, this past winter season, Mo, they were obviously a very similar team to the one we just saw. If anything, they had a couple of extra players. So, if anything, I could see this team perhaps being a bit stronger if they're able to keep same core, maybe add a piece or two. They could definitely go back to Division 2 and make some noise. As for the big TDs, I think Division 3 is probably a good place for them. It's really going to depend on who's on that team. If Paul Lapierre goes up to Division 1, as many expect him to do, then he's a guy who can play with them in Division 3, and I'm just not convinced this is a Div 2 team either. So they're going to have to make some big choices for the big TDs. Either they stay in Div 3 and compete as they've done in the past, or maybe they go up to Div 2, bring Paul Lapierre in the fold, maybe bring another guy as well, and try and be an even more dominant team.
And finally, what grade would you give this game as a whole?
It wasn't the most interesting game, to be honest. We've had a trio of duds so far in the road show. It was fun to see how well Frank LeBeau played. I think it's not often we get to see a player who's that tuned in. So just seeing that offense play, I think it was poetry in motion, as some would say. But beyond that, it wasn't the most exciting game. And by the end, we knew who was going to win. As far as I think start of the second half, we had a pretty good idea.
So there you have it. The Div B now completed as we have a new champion. It was a fantastic season from start to finish. A lot of great finishes, by the way, to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And also for the playoffs itself, as we both saw throughout the spring playoff season here. I want to thank you, Darren, for all of your hard work for Division B, writing the weekly reports on the teams out there, and Don Shepard as well for his hard work.
Yeah, it was a treat for me, and I'll speak for Don as well. We had a lot of competition in Division B. I think with the interdivisional games, we saw that a lot of these Division B teams could compete at the Division A level, and I'm hoping that we're going to see next season a lot of these teams make the jump to a higher level because they definitely can compete. I think if one or two teams move up, it'll even the playing field a lot, and I think it'll be something very, very exciting for us to follow in the coming years.
Let's not forget Jim Clarethos as well for covering A, B, C, and D. So we thank him as well. Thank you to Robert Campana, the visionary of the show, but really you are the brains of the operation, my friend.
I do my best, Mokan, but I don't think any of this would get done, especially with the Weppel, without all your hard work. You said GM does A, B, C, and D, but you also do A, B, C, and D, and I think hats off to you for another great season.
Thank you very much, and it's been a pleasure covering Division B this year. A lot of fantastic finishes. Look forward to the winter. That's going to be a lot of fun to see who moves up, who moves down, who forms new teams out there as well. So look forward to that. Without further ado, the magic words, please.
That's it from us here at the weekly Extra Point Live Division B Championship Roadshow edition. We will see you here January, but until then.
Good night, Division B. We'll see you January 2013. Have a safe and eventful few months off as we come back to you in January.